Well, thank you to the Green Bay Packers. Now I don't have to say that I was 10-6 this week. I can say I was 11-5 again. So, well, that actually makes my overall pick record 22-10. All right, I take that. Cool. Let's see, at the rate I'm going, let's see, on pace. I can't do the. I'm too tired and lazy to do the math right now. But anyway, let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. My low is. I guess my low is a bit of the fact that I actually have been kind of avoiding mentioning this just simply because, some people just don't really like hearing this. But, ladies and gentlemen, today is the final day of summer. Really, it is. Tomorrow we have the autumnal equinox, or the first day of autumn, or the first day of fall. I mean, don't get me wrong, I call it fall a lot, but man, I just love the word autumn. I do. It's a pretty name for a season. Decent name for a girl, I like it. Yeah, I do. But, I don't know. And it's not like I'm not going to the lake anymore yet. I mean, we still have at least 1 or 2 more weeks before we close up outright. But I have noticed, online, a lot of people have legitimately been, sort of hanging up whatever summer activities they do. Whether it is they go to that cottage on the lake, or they go to, the ice cream place that's only open during the summer. They're starting to, everything's starting to close down a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's natural. Listen, I'm always well aware of the fact that as soon as it opens, someday in the future, and by future I mean 5, 6, even 7 months away, it's going to end. I'm not naive enough to believe that everything lasts forever. But, when you're sad about the fact that summer's almost over, legitimately almost over now, it kind of gets to you a little bit. I mean, it's not enough to straight up root. Listen, here's the thing. For the most part, even though I do mention that I have a low, sometimes, my worst lows are not enough to ruin my day. Unless it's, really serious. Or even, if I mention the fact that sometimes I get in an argument with my parents or something, that's bad, but not enough to straight up call the entire day a complete failure. Remember, folks, the glass isn't half empty or half full. It's refillable. So with that going on, let's get to my high. Well, sure enough, my high was the fact that, I did get to see my mom yesterday and talk to her a little bit. And it was nice. I mean, I haven't seen her in a good while. In person, anyway. I mean, I talked to her over the phone, of course. But straight up, in terms of seeing her in person, it was nice to see her. It really was. And, speaking of going to the lake, I'm going to be seeing her up at the lake this weekend. Although, I kind of really haven't been talking about usually what happens, at least so far. Because here's the thing, ever since, my nephews were born, and now with my third nephew here, my mother and father like to spend Saturday, looking after my nephews, which is fine. Although it takes them a lot longer than it ought to actually get up to Chuggaaconroy Lake. Especially with my mom who, okay, folks, tell me how silly, I want someone out there to tell me if I'm wrong for believing this. But it's really silly how, my mom knows that she's going to wind up going to the lake anyway. After she, watches my nephews. So, usually after she's done watching my nephews, she goes home, grabs her clothes, and then heads up to like maybe with some possible shopping to go along with that in case we need like groceries up there or something. Wouldn't it make sense for you to just take the clothes you're gonna bring up to the lake with you when you go to watch my nephews? I mean, it would save you some gas and a trip home. I mean, I can see where you did bring your stuff, but at the last minute, as you're about up to you're like, oh darn, I forgot something. I can see that happening. That's happened to even me before. But if you know for a fact you could probably save yourself a lot of time and effort, just take your stuff with you outright. It just does you a huge favor when you do. And my act of kindness was I actually did a couple of errands for my grandmother yesterday. That was very nice. And yeah, I guess that's really about it. Good morning and happy Tuesday, everyone. It's Tuesday, the day after Monday, which is nice. So, I guess I have to bring up again the fact that, yeah, it's the last day of summer. I'm sad. If there was ever a time where the word finality was starting to sink in, it'd be right around now. I mean, finality in the sense that, yeah, summer's essentially over. I mean, yeah, I'm going up to the lake this weekend, technically in the fall, but it's not bad. In fact, full disclosure, and maybe this is just something that I haven't noticed yet, but to my knowledge, I really haven't seen much changing colors in the leaves. Not really. I mean, my mom did kind of notice it up at Cuckoo Lake, especially by the bluff, because, a giant landmass where you see nothing but, big trees on it, it can be kind of easy to point out what no longer looks green, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm just sort of it actually never really occurred to me as much as it ought to have way back when I was in school. Wait, if fall starts right around now, then why did summer vacation end, when it did? Because last time I checked, if it's still summer, we should still be on vacation. I can't believe not once I ever complained about that. Especially when I felt like I ought to have. I don't know. Now I'm just being even more silly, I guess. Although, speaking of silly, I actually have started watching Kid Cosmic Season 2. Keep in mind, I only saw 2 episodes. Actually, before I and I am going to be talking about this when I get to the video, but I looked at the episode count. There's only 8 episodes. I mean, granted, the first season only had 10, but last time I checked, 10 was a much more powerful number than the number 8. My point is, this season's short. Really short. But if nothing else, I can definitely say I'm having a blast watching it. I mean, I'm going to talk about it more when we get to it, but I am legitimately loving what I'm seeing so far. I'll be able to talk about it in greater detail after I finish the season, which I'm going to try and maybe, because I would have watched it all last night if it wasn't for football. Right now I'm only 2 episodes in, and again, with only 8 episodes, I could potentially binge watch it throughout the course of the day. So I guess I'm going to try and get the video out tomorrow, but if not, definitely Friday. Actually, come to think of it, there is something I want to talk about on Friday. Well, you know what? You know what? Speaking of things like, here's the thing. Before I talk about the things I talk about on Friday, I want to point out that one thing, we have our new Hot Ones guest already. And it's very surprising. It's Jimmy Kimmel. I'm thinking, wait, hasn't Sean Evans done a Hot Ones interview with Jimmy Kimmel on Jimmy Kimmel's own late night show? I'm like, wait, no he didn't. That was Jimmy Fallon. Funny, huh? So, yeah, looks like we're having Jimmy Kimmel on Thursday. Not a bad way to kick off season 16, if I do say so myself. Jimmy Kimmel's cool. I like him. I mean, again, his show is on so late, I never really watch it, but, you see clips of him on YouTube and stuff, and he can be funny. So, it'll be a very interesting episode to see. Again, this is definitely another episode where, it gives me an opportunity to learn more about the guests in person. And that's cool. I mean, even the guests that I know a lot of information about, like Guy Fieri, for instance, I actually learned a lot from his episode. So, there you go. Now we get to the other thing. And I want to kick myself for not mentioning this the other day. But it was Saturday, I believe, where Chuggaaconroy posted, the first new Xenoblade Chronicles 2 video in what felt like a month and a half. I bring it up because literally this past Friday, hold on, yesterday was the 20th, Sunday was the 19th. Yeah, literally on Saturday, actually, never mind. It was on Saturday, was the 1 year anniversary when Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was when he started that series. Basically, he's been at it for a year, and he still has a lot to do. In fact, I wouldn't normally do this, but obviously I'm subscribed to Chuggaaconroy on YouTube, as you should as well. You should subscribe to me too, but also subscribe to Chuggaaconroy, okay? Good. Let me bring him up real quick. His community thing. Okay. He says, I have just pressed export on the final episode of the base game of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That means he has essentially done the main story in New Game Plus. We still have to play the DLC story, basically the stuff that comes a little bit during and after the main game, which I have recorded 4 episodes of as of right now. We are officially in the home stretch, and regular updates will resume this week. I presume probably on Friday. Normally when Chuggaaconroy starts videos again or starts a new series, it's usually on a Friday, which is a good day. Start off the weekend right, Currently, 185 episodes have been recorded. Before I continue that, as of this past Saturday, is at 165. So already 20 episodes guaranteed. And he goes on saying, and I can say beyond any doubt that this will be the first Let's Play on the channel to break 200 episodes. Okay. Cool. He finally says, it's hard to say by how much exactly, but I'm going to predict 217 based on some data I've been tracking. You know what? Because here's the thing. Chuggaaconroy, like me, is also a One Piece fan, and any One Piece fans out there are probably going to be getting this reference. But back when Chuggaaconroy did the first Xenoblade Chronicles game for his channel, I'm like, this is just Rosa. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is Wano. And funny enough, we're still in Wano in One Piece now I think about it. Yeah, we get a new chapter this week. That's going to be cool. Like, favorite, chat, subscribe button, follow me in the social platforms using YouTube. I'm very homie this video for all of you guys watching Joe today. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Remember, you guys want to talk to John, we're going to be here to learn and we're going to be back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.